Previously on the Crenshaw Corner.
But you can't do everything. And that's where, like, even my doctor's appointments, he'll come up for every appointment. I'll be like, you can stay in the car. He's like, no, I'm coming up. I'm like, but you can stay in the car. And I know you always say, like, why is she always telling me to stay in the car?
Right.
Because you just need a moment, babe. You need a moment without me. You need a moment without a physical therapist or, because they even train him how to do physical therapy. Physical therapy if you meet at home, right? And but you need a moment to yourself, And I think whether you like it or not, that's where I am when I'm pushing you and you're getting angry, that you need a moment to sit down and relax.
Yeah, but also I think there's a part of this that people don't like to talk about, because this is actually not my first rodeo as a caretaker, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I had that role as a much younger individual.
Your grandparent.
With my grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't his primary, but I was the one that was there the majority of the time, because I was living with him.
Right.
I was living with my grandparents at the time. And it got to a certain point where my grandfather really didn't want anybody else to do anything for him but me.
Right.
And this was my adolescent, teenage years, where, and I don't think I know I've never had this particular conversation on the air.
Or with me.
Yeah.
Because I'm listening, because I'm like, wait. Well, I knew about you caretaking, but not we've never had the conversation.
Yeah. Family.
What's up?
I didn't see you there.
Hello, family.
And welcome back to another episode of the Crenshaw Corner podcast. I am your host, Sanchez Crenshaw, and as always, I am joined by the absolute best part of my day.
That would be me, y'all. Hello.
The apple of my eye.
Mm-hmm.
The wind beneath my wings.
I lift you up where you belong.
The rib that completes me.
He's completed, people.
The Trixie to my Ed.
Mm-hmm. That is the honeymooners.
You just the honeymoon.
That was easy.
Was it easy?
You see, I just rolled off my tongue.
Actually, it really did just roll off your tongue.
I didn't even hesitate.
I'm proud of you.
I didn't even hesitate.
You didn't hesitate.
No,
I'm proud of you.
I said hesitate.
Say
it like that. Say it like that.
I'm not. My tongue doesn't roll that way.
Unfortunately. Yes.
You gonna say your name?
What is going on, family? What is going on, guys? I am Angela Crenshaw, guys. What is going on?
That is my wife, family.
Hi.
Family, that is my wife.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, family.
Happy Wednesday,
Happy
family.
Wednesday. Family, we are so happy that you're here joining us.
Yes.
However you're joining us, whether it's on iTunes, whether it's Podbean, whether it's Spotify, whether it's Amazon Music, whether it's iHeartRadio, whether it's our own personal website at www.thecrenshawcorner.com.
Yes.
Whether it's YouTube, we thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, guys.
For our returning family members, welcome back.
What's going on, returners? Thank you so much.
We are so happy that you returned.
Yes.
For our new family members, welcome.
Hi, guys.
We are so happy you found us. However you found us, whether it was through word of mouth, whether you happen to come across us in one of your fine podcasting locations, we are so happy you're here.
Yes, and pass us on.
Yeah.
Did that sound right?
It didn't, but we just going to go with that. That sounded something different, but we just going to go with that.
Let me just, tell some people about us.
There you go. We know what you meant. We know what you meant.
Tell some people about us. Yes.
And family, we consider ourselves an interactive podcast.
Yes, we are.
Which means we can be found on the socials. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. Or you could email us at any time at the CrenshawCorner@gmail.com.
Okay, what's happening?
The CrenshawCorner@gmail.com.
You good over there?
Yeah, I'm perfect. You can email us at any time at the CrenshawCorner@gmail.com.
Just asking.
Once again, the CrenshawCorner@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You be forgetting.
Hey, stop it.
I'm just saying.
Stop it. So, bae.
What's up?
What we talking about?
Okay, first of all, let's go over a few things, okay? The first thing is the reason why we're about to do this subject, because I know when I just say it, you're going to be like, babe, we can't be beating a dead horse. It's not a dead horse. We can do this one more time. So
it sounds like a topic we've already talked about before.
Yes, it is a topic we already talked about before. So I went and looked at our matrix.
Metrics.
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 Why did I say matrix?
Not really sure.
I'm in a matrix right now, y'all.
It's okay.
Okay.
Red pill, blue pill.
Yes. And which would you choose?
Huh?
Do you remember what the
I'm
red
staying
pill
in the
was?
metrics. I'm staying in.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't want
Okay.
the. I don't want to know.
You don't want
I'm
to know.
staying in.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Cool.
I don't care that the steak is fake steak. It tastes like steak.
And that's all that counts.
That's all that counts.
Oh my God.
It's real to me.
It's real, and that's important.
Yeah.
What is real to you?
What is real to
What
you?
is real to you, family?
Reality is a concept.
Food for thought, guys. What is real to you guys, family? But anyway, I digress. So listen. So looking at the metrics.
The metrics. There you
Come
go.
on now, you see me.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. One of the things that has been, which I knew because people ask me, that's been a big thing is this love language thing,
Right.
which is crazy. And actually, it's been the most downloaded. Is the one talking about love languages.
Our most popular. Yeah, our most popular episodes.
It's been our most popular episode, which is crazy. But thank you guys. We love you guys so much. And so when I was thinking about it, I was like, well, what is it now that people want to know? Because the first time we told everybody what the love languages were,
Right.
the first time that we did it, episode 1 when we did it. And then the second one, we talked about what can damage your relationship if you're not attentive to your significant other's love language. What can be damaging for someone who has a particular love language and you do these things, it can damage your relationship. Do you remember that?
I remember.
Now, do you remember what the 5 love languages are? Let's talk about that.
I do, but there's maybe some family members that don't. So go ahead and refresh their memory.
No, you refresh it.
I'm saying, go ahead and refresh
No,
your
bro,
memory,
you
baby.
refresh it, baby.
Baby, it's the setup. You doing the setup, baby.
No, you said you knew it. I'm testing you.
I do, but I'm saying
Okay.
there may be some family members that don't.
No, don't do that.
So it will be good for you to refresh
Oh.
their memory.
Okay.
Is what
So I'm doing
saying.
it for them.
You're doing it for them.
I'm doing it for the people.
You're doing it for the family.
I'm doing it for the family.
There you go. Go on and do it for the family.
All right. So the love languages are word of affirmation,
Right.
acts of service,
Acts of service.
physical touch,
Right. Touching the physical.
quality time,
That time of quality.
and receiving gifts.
Giving gifts to receive.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I'm not going to go over those again. If you have not listened to that loving feeling, I think that was the first one that we did about it, that loving feeling, go back and listen to that. And that'll go over what each love language is, okay? But the question has came upon us. Upon us, right, exactly, to give some tips or some examples of if you know your significant other's love language, but you actually don't know exactly what to do, what are some tips? So they was like, hey, Crenshaw Corner, can you give us some tips? Of course we can. That's what we do.
We love to. We love tipping.
We love tipping.
We big tippers.
We're big tippers. We are big tippers. I don't know if that sounds right either.
Hey, it sounds good to me.
Okay, great. Cool. So what we're going to do today is we're going to basically go over just some tips, not a lot of tips. We're not going to be before y'all long with this. We're not going to label. We're going to just go ahead and go straight into it. So the first one is words of affirmation. And so basically, it sounds like words of affirmation, basically, it's just words of encouragement, love. They love to be adored on and affirmed and,
right.
Talked to in reference to that. And so that's not one of our love languages.
No.
What is wrong with my voice? What is happening?
It's okay. It's okay.
Why am I here sounding like Barry White?
It's allergy season. You're good.
Thank you. You're so
It's
loving.
okay.
You're so loving. So here are some tips. And again, these are just tips. And if you have other tips, reach out to us. Let us know, like, hey, we did this. This works for us. This happens for us. This is good for us. So the first thing that you might want to do, for examples, basically, is just spend time with each other, basically, and just speak life into each other, right? So words of affirmation like, you're wonderful, you're beautiful, and those are normal things that people do, right? But going even deeper into it, right? Talking about how your love is unconditional, and what does unconditional love look like for your relationship? Does that make sense? Like, because people think it's just like, I love you, you're beautiful, but it's so much deeper than that. What do you think about when you're talking about that my love is unconditional? If you was a person who loved words of affirmation, how would you feel about that? If they came like babe, our love is unconditional and this is why, and I want to make plans with you for the rest of our lives. Like, how do you feel about that?
That would touch me. If that was my love language, that that would touch me, that would fulfill me, that would honor me. If that was my
I
love
like that.
language.
I like that word honor.
Because what happens a lot of times in relationships, we take each other for granted. We don't do it on purpose. Most of the times, we don't do it on purpose. We get caught up in life. We get caught up in careers. We get caught up in kids. We get caught up in finances. We get caught up in situations and circumstances. And so, with that, the first person that we start overlooking is typically the closest person to us.
This is true.
Which is typically our spouse. And we'll forget sometimes. And then we also get caught up in that whole, well, they're supposed to. And we get caught up, well, he's doing the dishes. Well, he's supposed to. He lives here too. Or she's doing the laundry. She's supposed to. Or he took the kids out for the day. Well, he's supposed to. That's their father. He's supposed to spend time with them. But just because I'm supposed to do something doesn't mean that a thank you for doing it still doesn't go a long way. Or I appreciate you for doing it. Or I appreciate you for waking up this morning. I appreciate you for going to work. I appreciate you for wanting to take care of this family. I appreciate you for wanting to take care of me. I appreciate you for your mind. I appreciate you for your sense of humor. I think we get caught up in not being appreciative of what we have. And I think that's a societal thing across the board, that we're so used to having whatever that thing may be, whether it's finances, whether it's a home, whether it's attention, whatever it is, we're so used to having that we become ungrateful for that thing that we have. And so if I'm a person that is words of affirmation, and please don't misunderstand, it's not an ego thing.
Right.
You're not feeding into their ego. You're not feeding into their narcissism. You're not making their head. You're not, as the old people say, you're not giving them a big head.
Right.
It's none of that. It's you're simply taking the time to acknowledge that this person means something to you.
Yeah.
And you're doing it in a way, you're verbalizing it. And I know people always say, action speaks louder than words, which is true. But the words are still nice to hear.
Exactly.
There is a reason why words carry so much weight. There is a reason why the Bible says life and death is in the power of the tongue.
Absolutely.
That means that words mean something.
Means a lot, actually.
Means a lot. And even though as a society we have nullified words.
We just throw words around,
yeah,
don't we?
And what they mean, and we've changed definitions, and we've changed pronunciations, and we've created new words that at the end
languages.
Of the day, we created new languages and things that don't make sense at the end of the day. But with all that being said, words are power. Words mean something. Going to your spouse and telling them how much you appreciate them, and not just for their physical or not just for what they do for you, but as for who they are, their character, their mind, how they think, how they operate, how they do things.
Yeah.
It goes a long way.
It goes a long way.
Yeah.
One of the big ones that I found, and I was like, oh my gosh, people don't know how important this is to say, whether you're a person who, that your love language is affirmation or not. But this was so powerful to say when I was doing my research and just asking around. One of the things that most people said that was so important, that just meant everything, is when they hear, I support you.
Oh, yeah.
I support you. If your significant other comes with an idea, they may sound off too crazy, or they want to go back to school, or they want to work a different job, or they want to just do something different, learn a language, or just whatever, or go after their dream, finally go after their dream. The words to hear that I support you in everything that you do is so powerful.
Yeah.
That is a powerful thing. And when we think about that, we're like, whoa, wait. That means that we're going hand in hand. I believe in that. One thing that you say means we're working hand in hand. I believe in you. Whatever I need to do to help you get there is what I'm going to do. When you tell your significant other, I support you in everything that you do, that blows. It was like it was like an aha moment. Like, wow.
One of the phrases that I love hearing you say, that you say a lot all the time, is partner. And and partnership,
Yeah.
and coming alongside of your
Mm-hmm.
spouse and partnering with them and be a
Mm-hmm.
partner in a situation.
Yeah.
I think sometimes, once again, that's another one of the words that we use and
Mm-hmm.
don't understand the full meaning of behind it. And
Exactly.
when you partner with someone, when you're a partner in something, that means you have a stake in it. That means that you are invested in it. That means that
Mm.
the outcome of this situation is just as important to you
Yes.
as it is the person you partner with.
Exactly.
And to show that to your spouse, to show, even if initially you don't quite understand it,
Mm-hmm.
or you don't quite understand why is this the move that you're wanting to make, or why is this the change that you're wanting to do, to be able to sit there and say, even though I fully don't understand right now,
Mm-hmm.
and even I may not fully believe in the vision, but I
Mm-hmm.
believe in you.
Yeah. Ooh.
And that goes a long way with your spouse,
Yes.
because there's been some times that my lovely wife have come to me with some things and some ideas that at the time I fully didn't understand
Mm-hmm.
why is this the move you want to make right now, or why
Right.
is this the thing you want to do right now, or why is this the endeavor or the adventure that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I didn't fully believe in the idea, I believed in her.
Right. Thank you, Lord.
And so I supported her on what she was doing.
Yeah.
And then I did everything I could to help her
Mm-hmm.
bring that vision to the forefront, and not in the background try to undermine.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the thing, sometimes we'll do that as well as partners, and it's not a intentional thing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's self-conscious, where because we just don't fully believe in the idea.
Mm-hmm.
And so because we don't fully believe in the idea, we say, well, okay, yeah, I'll help. But then we slowly and quietly sabotage it on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
Saying I support you means I
Wow.
support you.
I support you.
I support you 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it works or it doesn't work, I support you 100%.
Yeah.
And I think if we got to the point of, like I said, I may not believe in the idea, but your track record is strong.
Mm.
I believe in you. I believe you have proven to me over the years that you're not going to go into something half cocked.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to go into something that you haven't researched.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to go into something that you don't believe.
Right.
And so therefore, I believe in you
And I support you.
and I support you.
Another one that before we get off of, because there were so many, but another one for words of affirmation was when you say, "I'm coming to you because I value that." I just want to sit in that word for a few minutes. I value and I appreciate your opinion. Listen, when you go to your significant other, because that touches their heart, that I'm not coming to you just because I don't know what to do. I'm coming to you because I think I know what to do, but because I value and trust your opinion is why I'm coming to you
Right.
to ask for your assistance in this area. See, because words are so powerful. When you I can come to Sanchez and say, "Hey, babe, what do you think about this?" Because it's very nonchalant. Babe, hey, what do I think about this? But if I come to him and say, "Baby, what do you think about this? I value and respect and trust your opinions about things, and I need you." Doesn't it sound? It just feels different,
It feels
right?
different. It carries a different weight to it.
It carries a different weight. That
Carries a
means that
different weight.
I really I value what you say. It's important, and it makes the other person feel valuable, and make not only feel valuable, being heard, right? And again, it's not stroking anyone's ego, but words have so much power that you're affirming that. Know that not only do I respect you, but I value you.
I think we have to come out of the sitcom mindset of what a marriage is.
Mm.
No, she's not nagging you. No, he's not incompetent. No, no,
Because they love that, don't
yeah,
they?
they love that.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're not disengaged. No, that's not your marriage. And if it is your marriage, you're working towards something different.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
That sitcom mindset of everything's going wrong and they're not really, you're there, but you're battling all the time, and it's always a adversarial relationship, and all this that we see, and all this that media wants to portray when it comes to husband and wives, and all that's not reality. I don't care what media says. I don't care what they
Yeah.
portray on television and movies. That's not reality. The reality is that your partner means the best for you. You mean the best for your partner. So with that being said, you have to be careful of the words that you use and what you say to your partner. Now, whenever we talk to married couples who may be going through something or having some challenges in their marriage, one of the things I always talk about is going back to the beginning. Why did you marry this person? Why did you what was it about them that made you fall in love with them in the first place? What was about you that made you want to ask them to spend the rest of your life with them? And what was the thing that made you say yes to that question?
Yeah.
And when you do that, and when you think about that, you valued that person in the beginning.
Absolutely.
You valued the relationship. You valued
their opinion.
You valued spending time with them. You valued them just being in your presence. Those are the things that you looked forward to.
Right.
Those are the things that you thought about. Those are the things that you planned around. And what happens, like I said earlier, as we continue to go on, and then life comes at us, and then, because it's different when you have your own home, I have my own home, we can get away from everything.
Right.
But when we come together, everything that you have is now mine. That means all of your happiness, all of your sorrow. That means all of your ups, all of your downs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those are now mine. And it vice versa. All of my ups, all of my downs, all of my sadness, all of my happiness is now yours. And so as we start getting entwined in that, as my wife said, the basic things we start to forget about.
Yeah, absolutely.
I start to forget that I value your opinion. And it changes from I want your opinion to you're nagging me. And it goes to I used to love the fact that you used to hold me accountable for my decisions. You used to hold me accountable for my behavior. That was a thing that I loved about you. Now you're bossy.
Yeah.
Now you're an overstepper. When those are the things in the beginning, I love the fact that you didn't bite your tongue when it came to something you didn't agree with. Or I love the fact that you would pull my card on behavior that was not beneficial to me or us as a couple.
Right.
So now all of a sudden, those same qualities that I loved about you and that I found sexy about you, now those same qualities are annoying.
Yeah, or issue.
When you didn't change, how you handle things didn't change. So what's changed?
Yeah.
So now I have to go back and do a self-reflection on me.
Right, absolutely.
And now I have to go back and saying, okay, these are the things about her or him that I valued. But now I don't show them that I value that anymore. Now instead of showing them that that's a value to me, that's something important to me, now I'm showing that's something that bothers me.
Right, like it's a deficit.
Yeah, it's a deficit when it's not.
Right.
When you holding me accountable, it's always a positive. That's always adding to me because that's the only way I can grow.
Right, absolutely.
That's the only way we can grow.
Right.
And to be able to navigate that through your own thought processes. And then be mature enough to say, babe, thank you. Thank you for being willing to have those hard conversations with me.
Right, absolutely.
I value your opinion. I value your thought process. I value the fact that you see enough in me to correct me when you think I'm out of order.
Yeah. Thank you for supporting me.
Thank you for supporting me.
Thank you for supporting me.
Yeah.
It is such a powerful, those things of I value and I support you in everything that you do. It's such a powerful thing for a person who love language is words of affirmation.
Yeah. And it seems so simple.
Yeah.
It's, to be honest, it seems so insignificant.
Yeah, it seems so easy.
It seems so easy.
Anything that easy, you're like, is it really that easy? Yeah.
Because it's legitimately just 3 words. I support you. I value you. It's 3 words.
Yeah.
But those 3 words, like I love you,
Can change the
carry
game. Mm-hmm.
can literally
Literally.
literally change the game. And it can change your relationship
Mm-hmm.
just by going to your spouse and saying it with conviction and meaning
Mm-hmm.
that I support you.
Mm-hmm.
I value you.
I
You
love
would be
you.
amazed at what that could do for your relationship.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, now. So let's get into acts of service, which is mine.
Right, that's yours.
Acts of service is mine. And again, I think people think that acts of service, part of acts of service, especially people like me, like when people do things for them, that they back people for acts of service like to be seen. Like when you show them that you see them, right?
Right.
And you see the things that they love to do, or that you want to do for them, is an act of service. And sometimes, a lot of times, people say, act of service. Some examples of act of service is cooking their favorite meal, surprising them with a clean living space, right? That when
Right.
they come home. So whatever it is that they need, and that tires them out sometime, maybe something that you want to do. If they've always been setting the dates up, like to go out on a date night, you start doing that, right? That's an act
Right.
of service that you need to think about. Errands that they would normally run. And here's the thing, people who want active service, right? I'm going to need you to stand down. Stand down.
What do you
Stand
mean?
down. I'm going to tell you what I mean. Because when your significant other come do the act of service, or say, I will do it for you, stand down and let them do it. I am very much active service person, but if I'm going to want to go food shopping, and Sanchez was saying I'm very guilty of this. That's why I'm just putting it out there. And he see that I'm very tired. He'll be like, "Babe, give me the list, and I will go to the store for you." And what happens when you do that?
You always want to fight me on it.
Yeah,
You always, no, I'll do it. No,
right.
but I got this certain way in my mind, and we go
do
through
that.
we go through this labyrinth of things.
Yeah. Yeah. If you love active service, stand down and let them do that, right? Because that's our love language. Or like I said, running some errands that I need to be running. Again, if that's the case, and they ask you to do that, let them do it. Stand down. It don't have to be you today. Take that time to rest, right? Or if they offer you, let me give you a massage, or let me send you to a masseuse or something like that. Again, pay attention to when they are, because we have so busy. We're saying we're so tired, we do so much, and we do, right? But when someone is 20 years significant trying to relieve you from that, right? Stand down and let them do that. So that's another thing that I was thinking more about. Now, here's another thing about active service. Don't do the cookie cutter stuff, people.
What do
You
mean?
have got to tailor this to who you're with, their personality,
Okay.
right?
Right.
So my personality is, they just know, a clean house does the mind right. I can't do clutter. If it's anything is cluttery or too much around me, for some reason it blocks up my thinking. Now, everybody may not be that way, but it does for me. So I can't have stuff everywhere. Even when I'm at work, Sanchez will send me a picture and be like, "Hey, babe, just to let you know, this bed is made." And he will send me a picture. I promise you guys, he will send me a picture of the bed and the room clean. And actually, why do you do that though?
So just in case by the time you get home, it's not in that same position, you know that at some point during the day it was.
That's what I wanted him to say, because I knew why, but that's what him to say.
Yeah, 'cause
He'd be like, just in case,
just
right?
just in case I decide to take a nap, or just in case something goes wrong
Yeah.
that day,
No,
and it's not in that same order.
no.
You know that at some point during the day
Right.
it was.
Yes. Another act of service is, which people may not think of, is listening attentively.
Yeah.
That is an act of service, guys.
Yeah.
To listen to your significant other attentively. So that will also help you know what they need and what they want. What's your thoughts on active service, like tips to give the family out here in reference to active service? Not just chores, but other things that you can think of as well, babe.
It's a couple of two things.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of two things.
Wait, I'm sorry. A what?
Yes, ma'am.
A what?
Couple of two things.
A couple of two things. Okay.
Couple of two things.
It's a couple, not two.
See,
Okay, never
see,
mind.
There you go.
See, I support you.
Thank you very
I
much.
support you. I
Um,
support you in that one. Okay.
Coming at it from two different perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
The person who their love language is active service, and the person dealing with someone whose love language is active service. Let's start with the person dealing with it. Understand that what the primary goal of active service, as my wife said, they just want to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be seen. It has, once again, it has nothing to do with egos. It has nothing to do with anything, a big head or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
They just want to know that they are important to you. They want to know their needs, their thought processes, their perspective. They just want to know that they are being seen and they're being heard.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that being said, as my wife talked about, if you are a person whose love language is active service,
Mm-hmm.
if your spouse, if your significant other is making strides, it doesn't always have to be perfect.
Mm-hmm. Say that.
It doesn't always have to be the way that you would have done it.
Mm-hmm.
That so defeats the purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes there's more than one way to get to a destination.
My mother was gonna say the skin is cat. Good
But
gracious.
yeah, that's a little.
That's so old.
Yeah, it's so old.
I still don't know what that really means,
and it's
but let's go with
creepy
it.
when you really think about it. And you said it all the time. Then it's creepy.
Like what in the
Why is you skinning
Skin
a
a
cat?
cat.
And why do you know multiple ways to do
skin a
it?
cat? Like
That's-
who? What are we
I
doing?
am calling criminal minds. I'm calling the FBI BAU because you got issues.
Yeah, let's talk about that
Yeah.
later on down the line. But go ahead. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
but there's always more than one way to get to a destination. So allow them to do it the way they do it. Allow them to, whether it's cleaning, whether it's whatever it is, allow them to do it the way that they prefer to do it. Now, also understand when we're talking about acts of service, we're not just talking about the physical things. We're not just talking about doing the dishes. We're not just talking about doing the yard work, anything like that. We're talking about showing this person love, or showing this person the attention, or showing this person that what matters to them matters to you.
That's good.
And that's the most important thing, because I think what happens in relationships a lot of the time is that we don't feel like what's important to me is important to the other person. And that can only last but so long.
Exactly.
Because what happens is that I start to feel like even though I'm in this relationship, I'm by myself. And that's one of the killers of a marriage.
And the killer of active service too.
Yeah. Because the moment I feel as though I'm in this partnership by myself, or I am not being seen in this relationship, that's when you start looking for other avenues. And I'm not talking about necessarily talking about cheating, but I'm talking about that's when you start looking for other things and other situations and other ideas to give you what you're missing within that relationship. And then the moment you start introducing outside forces in that way into your relationship, now you're starting growing apart.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, baby. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, baby.
No, you got it. Go ahead.
When I was just thinking when you were saying that, because most people like, oh, like, so they going to go be with somebody else. It could be overeating.
Yeah.
It could be over shopping. It could be
television.
It could be television.
It could be the phone.
It could be the phone. It could be social media.
Yeah,
so we're not just talking about that, right?
Because I can leave you and
be in
never
the
leave my
house.
room.
And be in the house.
Yeah, and be in the house.
And be in the house.
But I'm gone.
Exactly. So it's so important. Two things about active service, again, just to be so everybody be clear. Two things that you want to do and think about doing is, first of all, making it personalized to your significant other, right?
Show them that you know them.
Right. And making it significant, right? Significant. Because here's the thing. Sanchez, I could be in the house and Sanchez can make me a cup of tea and that could change my whole day. Because I love tea and I love it in the morning. So for him to fix me a cup of tea and bring it to me is amazing, right? You may think that's something small, but it was significant to me. That meant something to me, that he know that having tea in the morning is important to me. So when those acts of service that you're doing, make sure they're personalized and make sure they're significant so that the other person, your significant other, know that you see what's important to them and you want to make sure that's what is important to them is important to you as well, right? Does that make sense? It was like
Makes sense to me.
the Huxtable show. And so it was Cliff, Claire, And what the baby name? Because she married him.
Eldon.
Eldon. Is his name?
Hold on. You talking? Are you talking about Vanessa?
No.
You talking about Sandra?
Sandra's husband.
Eldon.
Is it Eldon?
Eldon.
Why did it don't sound right when you wrote off?
Elvin.
Elvin.
With a V, not a
Yes.
not a B. Elvin.
And I remember Claire she was bringing Cliff some coffee. A cup of coffee.
Right.
And Elvin was like, "Oh, Miss Huxtable, I didn't know you did that thing.
Yeah, I didn't know you served your man.
You served your man."
Yeah.
And she went crazy.
One of the greatest speeches television history.
She was like, "I am not serving my man. I am bringing him a cup of coffee the way that he brings me a cup of coffee in the morning." And so it's so significant that, baby, you like coffee in the morning, right? And I'm going to bring it to you. It's not, Elvin couldn't get past that. He thought it was because she was a lawyer and he was a doctor, that she would do that type of thing. She would serve him, right? And that's what we have to just make sure that what we do, that we know our significant other's personality and what's significant to them, and we tailor our acts of service to them. Just not because doing the dishes may not be a thing. Like, okay, you did them, right? But it's not significant. So we have to personalize that to each other. And again, it's not just about chores, but it's like about the little things, right?
It's about paying attention.
It's about paying attention.
It's about paying attention. It's about knowing your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing. Here's the secret and the key. And we've talked about this before, but here's the secret and the key to any love language.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to do it properly, you have to know your spouse.
Yeah.
You have to take time to learn your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, it's communication.
Yeah.
And it's not making assumptions. It's not because I knew what you liked 3 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and so I don't have to ask you again.
Mm-hmm.
No, I do have to ask you again. See, and I know we're getting off topic a little bit, but that works both ways.
Yes.
It's if I'm the person, I have to ask the question, and don't get mad when I ask the question.
Right.
Don't be well. You should know. You should know what I like.
It's been 24 years, and you asking me
We've been together 25 years. How dare you ask me what my favorite color is? You should know what my favorite color is. No, ma'am, because your favorite color could change.
Don't do that.
Well, I'm saying in general.
Okay.
It could change. What you like could change, and it does change because as we grow, we become different people. As we get older, we become different people. Our taste changes. How we look at life changes.
Exactly.
One of the things I always say, and it's so simple. Growing up, I hated broccoli. I refused to eat broccoli growing up. My older brother loved it. My mom used to make it all the time. He used to eat it all the time. I refused. I would not do it. As I got older, my taste changed. It developed into something different. Now I love broccoli.
Yes, you do. Lord.
Another thing, olives. Growing up, I hated olives. I didn't like the taste of them. I didn't like the texture of them. Now, I buy jars and jars of olives. I keep a jar of olives in my refrigerator at all times.
And pickles.
Yeah, that and pickles. Well, pickles I've always loved. But that's something that changes. And so, yeah, I have to. I don't care if we've been together 14 minutes, 14 years, or 140 years. I have to ask the question. And don't get mad when I ask the question. It's not that I'm not paying attention. It's not that I don't know. It's not that I don't care. I'm asking because I do care. Because I want to make sure that I know you. I want to make sure.
That's good.
I want to make sure that what I think you like, you still like. What I think you enjoy, you still enjoy. So that way I still know who you are as a person. Yeah. I still know the way your mind works. And that way we can still grow and develop together and build together. Relationships are like education. The best way to education is building blocks. And what I mean by that is that what you learn in the first grade, they build upon in the second grade, they build upon in the third grade, and everything builds upon each other.
Right.
So you're able to take the most simplest ideas and the most complex ideas, and you're able to understand them and work through them. That's what a relationship is. A relationship is building blocks. I have to have the basic understanding of you to understand the complexity of you.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way I'm going to truly understand the complexity of you is I ask the basic questions. What is your favorite color? What is your favorite meal? Where do you like to go? What do you like to do? Though, to be able to truly understand, okay, for me to plan this ultimate vacation for you
Mm-hmm.
and to be able to plan this ultimate outing for you, I have to know the basics.
Mm.
That makes sense?
It makes a lot of sense.
Was I rambling?
No, you weren't
I
rambling.
felt like Dr. Reed Spencer for a moment. I felt like I went on a rant.
You went on a small rant,
Okay, cool.
but it's okay.
I'm sorry.
It was compelling. I
Okay.
support you. I support you in whatever you do. So the next one is Sanchez's, which is his physical
Did I say
touch.
Spencer Reed?
I don't know.
Did I say Dr. Spencer Reed?
Did you?
I meant to. If I didn't say Dr.
Who,
Spencer
first
Reed.
of all, who the heck is Dr. Spencer Reed?
Dr. Spencer Reed?
Don't go off on a tangent, Sanchez.
I'm not. He's from Criminal Minds.
Okay, thank you.
That's all.
Because you know.
Boy genius from Criminal
See,
Minds.
don't do that.
That's all
It's
it is.
okay. Stand down.
I stood down. I stood down.
Stand down. So the next one is physical touch.
Okay.
Now this one, so many people ask us about. Give us some tips, because okay, with physical touch, which is Sanchez one, when you're thinking about physical touch, everybody goes straight to sexual.
Yeah. It's
They
not
go
all
straight.
about
It's not.
sexual.
And this one, when it comes to the love language of physical touch, is basically physical touch with non-sexual thought processes.
Yeah.
Just to love on them, to hold them and touch them. And that's what physical touch is for love language for Sanchez. You know, just being around him or touching him or hugging him or just being in his space or being next to him or putting your head on his shoulder works for him. Right? That's physical touch. Before a long time, I didn't know, because Sanchez have a tendency, no matter where we are, he does it to this day. We could be somewhere and he'll just start rubbing my head. When it first started happening, I was like, what in the whole, what kind of, but then I didn't realize that was comforting for him, right? That he does that because he's a physical touch person. He is more physical touch person than I will ever be. I'll let him say it for yourself. So in reference to physical touch, right? Like the things that you do, like rubbing my head and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's that connection.
Okay.
It's a person whose love language is physical touch. It's really just all about connection.
Mm-hmm.
That's, at the end of the day, it's about feeling connected to
Mm-hmm.
someone. It's about feeling anchored. I think that's a good way to say
That's
it.
good.
It's an anchor.
Mm-hmm.
That really has nothing to do with sexuality.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, I know a lot of people, especially if your love language is not physical touch,
Mm-hmm.
you think it's they just want to have sex all the time. They just want to be sexual. And it really has nothing to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what just putting your hand on my shoulder does. Or just holding my hand or just touching my hand.
Mm-hmm.
And for a person whose love language is physical touch, that's really all it is. I need to feel grounded. I need to feel anchored. I need to feel a connection to the person that I love. And so the way we do that is by literally that physical physical connection.
Literally
That physical connection to the people we love.
Mm-hmm.
And so it really is as simple as hold my hand.
Mm-hmm.
It really is as simple as allow me to touch you, allow me to hug you, allow me to hold your hand, allow me to put my hand on your shoulder or rub your head. And it's really just that simple. It is a human. I'm not gonna say human. What I want to say. What's the word I want to use? Innate. I say that it is an innate emotion within us that we just need to feel connection to someone.
Yeah.
And so that's literally what it is.
Literally.
Just literally. The name of this episode is literally.
So here's the things that I found out. We're never gonna say why we say this ever. We're gonna take this literally to our grave. Literally to our grave, right? But it's so the things that you just said, what I wanted to hear what you had to say was the words that they use for people who love physical touch is feeling grounded.
Right.
Was one, and grounding them in the present moment.
Right.
It also says it fosters a sense of belonging And it says a gentle touch can communicate what you cannot.
Yeah.
Like, wow. And so some of the tips um that I found was, which a lot of people have a hard time doing this, extended eye contact. Basically looking each other's eyes for more than a second, y'all, or maybe 2 or 3 minutes. People are very uncomfortable with that.
They are. That's which is amazing to me. It's
Hmm.
the crazy part is that the basic of human emotions,
Hmm.
which is eye contact, it's so awkward and uncomfortable for people to the point that they will use it in therapy sometimes to just sit. All I want you
They
to do is
do
just sit
sit
there
there,
and make eye contact.
Just sit there.
Don't even say anything.
Just that.
Just sit there and make eye contact.
Hmm.
And that is so uncomfortable for people.
But it is one of the greatest things for people who love physical touch.
Yeah. Why do you think that is, bro? Just curious. Why do you think it's so uncomfortable for someone just to sit and make eye contact with someone?
Here's the thing. Back in the when we were younger, it was not a problem because we used to stare people down. We used to have remember we used to have contests who can stare at each other the longest without blinking.
Yeah. I remember
And it was
those
not
kids.
it wasn't awkward, it wasn't anything. And I think that as we got older, because we have, so people say your eyes are
The windows to your
windows
soul.
to your soul, right?
Mhm.
Thank you, because I couldn't remember all of that. And because of that, as we got older, we got very uncomfortable with looking people eye to eye. And here's the thing that's so crazy, because when you do a job interview and you do certain things in your life, that's the main thing that needs to be done is eye contact.
Mhm.
Or they'll be like, don't break eye contact. When
Right.
you're doing an interview, whoever you're looking at, look at them straight on.
Look 'em in the eye.
Because when you don't, it seems as if you're lying, you're being deceitful, you're being underhanded. So it's so crazy that people have such issue with this eye contact thing. Right?
I think what happens is that some people are uncomfortable with being seen.
Mm,
And when you're looking someone in their eyes, you're seeing them.
mm-hmm.
And you're not seeing pretenses.
Mm-hmm.
You're not seeing the mask that they're putting up. You're
Yeah.
not seeing the image they're projecting.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing them.
Yeah.
And I think for a lot of people that's very uncomfortable, because there are a lot of people who are uncomfortable with who they are.
Yeah.
And because they're uncomfortable with who they are, they're uncomfortable with somebody seeing them.
Yeah.
And in a marriage, that is so what I want to say, destructive, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm.
That's not being seen in a marriage both ways
Mhm.
is very destructive.
Right.
Not allowing your partner to see you and not seeing your partner will end a marriage so quickly,
Mm-hmm.
because that's another way that you grow apart. Because if you never allow me to see you, I never learn you.
Right.
I never learn who you truly are. I never grow to love who you truly are. And the thing about a mask, you can't wear a mask forever.
No, you can't. And I think too, the crazy part about this, when we think of physical touch, and since we're talking about eye contact,
Right.
people have a very difficult time. We go in the mirror to comb our hair, brush our teeth, all that. But do you really just stop doing all of that and just look in the mirror at yourself? Give yourself eye contact, right? And begin to really look at yourself. Like that alone,
Yeah.
right? That alone is very difficult. So to sit with someone else who's going to be looking at you, and it's so crazy that therapy sessions does that. Like a couple, especially couple therapy, or like, hey, sit next to each other, or even when you do couples yoga or meditation, the goal is for you to sit in front of each other and just sit there and look at each other.
Yeah.
That is the goal. Other examples of physical touch too is it could be something as easy as cuddling under a blanket, watching a movie together. For a physical touch person, that's amazing. Or just when Sanchez is playing a game, if I'm just there, or I rub his arm or his hand or whatever, and I'm just there, I don't have to say anything. And that's another thing about physical touch people. They really don't want a lot of conversation.
No, not really.
Not really. And that's just a general statement, but they really don't. They just want your presence, and they want you there with them, sharing and being in the moment, right? Or a long embrace, or snuggling in the bed, or holding hands while you're walking. Or the things that me and Sanchez do when we're driving, we hold each other's hands. Well, I don't drive.
You don't drive.
When he's driving,
Yeah.
yeah, let's
Yeah,
just
when
say
I
that.
drive.
Yeah, we hold hands. I don't like to drive, guys. I will, but I don't like it. So yeah, so those are one of the things that we need to think about. And again, something that it said is, which I was like, well, that's deep. So one of the things that it said that I found that it says a person who likes physical touch, it is also a way of reminding them or us of our shared humanity,
Yeah.
that we're human,
Yeah.
that we're real, that we feel, that we hurt, that we love, that we need, right? And so those are the examples
Yeah.
of physical touch.
And just understanding that sometimes, and I know this may not apply to everyone, but just understand there's sometimes that life will have you question your humanity.
Mm-hmm.
It will have you question whether or not you still feel anything, or
Mm.
whether or not you're still tied to this life.
Right.
It will have you questioning that. And it doesn't mean you're going crazy. It doesn't mean that you're insane. It just simply
Mm-hmm.
means that at this point in time, this season in life has weathered you down to the point that you have to just question just the basics of your humanity.
Yeah, and that's real.
And that's real. And that's when that anchor comes in. That's
Because
when
life be life.
yeah, life be life. And that's when
Mm-hmm.
that it's a common movie trope that you'll see
I like
someone
that word trope.
trope
I like it.
where you'll see like someone who is either they're leaving this realm, or something's going on there, or they're stuck in a dream or something where they're fighting between these two realities, and all a person will have to do is grab them,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll grab their hand, or they'll grab their arm, or
Yeah.
they'll pull them,
Yeah, jump back.
and they jump back into the reality, and they come back into
Mm-hmm.
where they belong, because that's that human anchor.
Mm-hmm.
And there are so many times in life we just need, and I know that concept of what I just said sounds crazy, but understanding that when someone is going through something in life,
Mm-hmm.
or they're going through a hard time, or they're dealing with something, or their mind is racing, sometimes just that grab, sometimes just that handhold, sometimes just that arm touch, it's all they need to anchor them back
Yeah.
to their reality, or anchor them back to their situation, or to give them hope that everything is going to be okay.
It'll be okay. There was a a video in New York City. I don't know if it was on Instagram, Facebook. It was something that was a while back, a long while back. And this guy had a sign, and he was like, "Give me a hug." That's what the sign said. Just give me a hug. Give me a hug. Or I think either give me a hug or do you need a hug?
Right.
And for a little while, people just walked by him and just was like, this is weird. But then, out of nowhere, a woman came to him and hugged him. And she cried. Like the moment she hugged him, she cried as if the moment he hugged her, a stranger, he released, that hug released whatever was in her.
Right.
It allowed her to exhale and breathe. And sometimes it's just a handhold, and sometimes it's just a hug that your significant other needs, just to release, like Sanchez said, and feel human, right? And be able to tie themselves and jolt themselves back out of what's going on in life, and let them know that they're still being seen and heard, and they're still loved, right? So it's a grounding mechanism. Quality time. Now, quality time, most people are like, it's quality time. Me and my spouse always have quality time. Quality time as a love language is, we're talking about undivided attention,
Right.
energy towards your partner, right? And also minimizing, or not even minimizing, but what's the word I'm looking for? Eliminating. Thank you.
You're welcome, baby.
Distractions.
Yep. Eliminating distractions.
Period. You don't even got, with quality time, you ain't got to go that deep.
Mm-mm.
That is basically what it is. And the word that it said, that again, it was so amazing to me. It is that showing appreciation and supporting them.
Back to that word again. Supporting.
Supporting.
Yeah.
Spending quality time with them. So of course, everybody be like, okay, so of course we know how to do quality time, Angela, but do you know how to eliminate distractions? Turn your phone off.
Yeah.
Have dinner with no phone.
Going back to grammar school and pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
To me, quality time is paying attention.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's paying attention to your spouse. And it's within that moment, nothing else is important.
Exactly.
Nothing else. Not the job,
Mm-hmm.
not that email, not that text message,
Mm-hmm.
nothing. Nothing as is. If it's not a life and death situation,
It's gonna be okay.
it's gonna have to wait.
Mm-hmm.
And in that moment, you make your spouse, and that's correct me if I'm wrong on this, babe, but the one thing about a person whose love language is quality time,
Mm-hmm.
for them, quality time makes them feel, it helps them feel important to you.
Yes.
It helps them realize that they are
Yes.
important to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And they just want to, and they want to feel important.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Exactly.
once again has nothing to do with ego. It has nothing to do with anything in a negative light. They just want to feel as though in that moment they matter to you.
Yes.
And how do you do that? Pay attention.
Pay attention. And also it says the fulfillment. I just want to read
No,
this.
go ahead, baby.
The fulfillment, the overall fulfillment of the relationship,
Right.
they feel fulfilled when you give them quality time, right? Now, here's the thing. I know everybody's going to say, like, Angela, we got kids, we got this, we got that, we need the phone, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. I got something better for you. If that's the case, then you know what you need to do? You need to stick to a set time. The kids go to bed at 8.
Right.
By 8:30, I need your quality time from 8:30 to 9:30. If it's that deep and complicated for you people, right, then set a time that is just for you every single day, whether it's early in the morning, lunchtime, or evening. There's 24 hours in a day. You're not going to tell me that there's not a time frame where you can go without your phone or communicating and talking to anybody else other than your spouse.
Yeah. You can't tell me you don't have 45 minutes.
Mm-mm.
You can't tell me you don't have an hour.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to get an hour less sleep, or if you have to wake up 45 minutes early,
Exactly.
then that's what you do. Because what happens is that for everything that's important in our life,
Mm-hmm.
we make adjustments for it.
Exactly.
For everything that we feel like it has to be done,
Mm-hmm.
and we have to be engaged in it,
We flipping schedules.
flipping schedules.
Mm-hmm.
We are making adjustments. We are finding a way to fit it in. Why is your spouse not important enough to do that for?
To do that.
Why is quality time? Why is spending that that undivided attention with your spouse? Why is that not as important as that meeting?
Exactly.
Because here's the thing, and we use this example a lot, and this goes for men and women.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how congested your day is. If your boss comes to you and says, we need to have a meeting at this time, you're going to rearrange your schedule
Mm-hmm.
to make sure you accommodate that request,
That you're available.
that you're available.
Exactly.
And if you got to push something back, or if you got to stay a little late, or if you got to come in early the next day, or whatever it is, or if you got to skip lunch, you're going to make sure you accommodate that request.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that request from your boss more important than the request from your spouse?
Especially when you know your spouse and quality time is big for them.
Yeah.
Because when you go in, just think about what you said. When you go into your meeting with your boss, the first thing they like to say is, please put your phones on vibrate. Because we need your undivided attention on this particular project.
Right.
So, or if you got to, like the movies, if you have to call your significant others and let them know you will not be home and you will not be able to answer this phone until this project is done, right? The same respect, the same quality time that you can give to that, you can give to your significant other.
Right.
And it's things like, again, sticking to a set time, if that's, eliminating those distractions, listen. Again, everything goes back to listening too, because we keep saying listen. Listen and give them the time that they need for quality time. Communicate openly, have a great communication, go out to dinner and spend time with each other, support each other's whatever your personal things that you want to do. Talk to each other, see where you can help each other grow, right? And if you can't even do that, then seek professional help. Go to a therapist, which is, and here's the thing I want to say about this, because I don't want to get on my high horse, but going to a therapist does not mean there's something wrong in your marriage. It could be something that you use as an improvement tool, as a tool in your marriage belt to make your marriage even better. So just understand that quality time is just not sitting next to each other, but it encompasses all things. But the most important thing is giving each other the time to just deal with each other. And also, I found when we talk about quality time, not talking about the bills, not talking about the kids, not talking about your careers, but talking about your dreams and aspirations for your future together,
Right.
as well as your dreams and your aspiration separately, right? And supporting each other in those areas. So that's what quality time looks like. Giving the person the time that they need for you guys to be together and love on one another is what quality time is.
Yeah.
Got any other tips before I go?
Nah, I think you covered that well.
Okay. Last one. Oh, gift giving.
Gift giving.
That's not one of mine either. And I get great gifts from Sanchez. And it's not that I don't love the gifts, but my acts of service just supersedes gift giving, right? And so gift giving is, now there's there's an art to gift giving. Did you know that, babe?
Yeah, I believe that.
It's an art to gift giving.
Yeah.
Because it's not just jewelry and this. You basically got to embrace the person again, going back to that, knowing who the person is, who your significant other is.
Yeah, because there are some people who truly could care less about jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care about a diamond ring or a necklace or diamond earrings or whatever. They could care less about that.
Right.
To them, they legitimately rather have a homemade card.
Right.
Or you build something for them or flowers or something like that.
Yeah.
They could care less about the huge expensive bombastic gifts. It's to them it's the simple things.
And here's the thing, when you're doing, we talked about this in prior love languages. In order to do this, you need to know their personality, their preferences. What in
Preferences.
preferences? Am I saying that right?
It's close enough.
Okay, the pre-pre's.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Their personality, preferences, as well as their needs, right? That is huge. Do you know your significant other's personality now, not last year, right? Do you know it now? What's their personality now? And what are their preferences? What do they like now? Do they rather go shopping for shoes or see me? Let me say this. The main thing you could get me gift giving that I will absolutely love is what?
Pair of sneakers.
My goodness. My God.
Pair of good sneakers.
Y'all. My kids, everybody know, the children, even the grandchildren, and to just know, if you ask me what I want for Mother's Day, birthday, my birthday is coming up, they're going to hear the same thing. Sneakers. I love sneakers. Different colors. As anybody around me know, they be like, your sneaker game is crazy, because I love sneakers, and I love my family because when I get them, they don't get me one pair, y'all. All of them be getting me 2 and 3 pair. I mean, God is faithful. But anyway, I digress. Anyway, so that's the next things. And then also engage and find by listening, and don't just go to them and ask them questions. Really start listening to them. I think we need to talk about that too. Don't just sit down, let me ask you 50 questions. If you pay attention enough, you know the right questions to ask at the right time in the right season. Right, to ask them. And when you do that, you begin to know their desires and their wishes. You know their colors, what they like, material things, the size they wear. I mean, this all encompasses. In order to do this, you got to know all of this. Yeah. The size, what shoe, don't mean like what size shoe you wear. Go find the closet and find out. What size clothes you wear, go in the closet. You have to be a private investigator, because that's when it means the most, because you're paying attention and you're listening, you're looking, and they don't have to give you any ideas, right? And so that's when it becomes so much powerful. What do you think about that?
I think you should always be interviewing. You should always be interviewing your spouse. So I agree to a certain extent what you're saying as far as the questioning, but I feel as though you should always be interviewing your spouse. Okay. Every day is an interview. Every day it's a conversation. And when I say interview, I mean more of a Larry King style interview.
Oh, not Larry King.
If you're not familiar with Larry King, he was one of the greatest interviewers. of any generation.
Okay.
Because it was always a conversation. It was always very conversational. He was asking questions and he was getting information, but he was doing it in a way that it was a conversation. And the way he intertwined the questions with the conversation, and how he made, no matter whether it was a royalty, a king, or if it was just a man off the street, he made everyone feel in that moment special, and he made everything centered around that person within that conversation. And that's when I say you should always be interviewing your spouse, that's what I mean. It should always be a continual conversation going on, where you're having the conversation, you're asking the questions, you're getting down to who that person is, the core of their nature. And as you do that, you're learning what do they like, what don't they like, what is the best gifts for them, and it has to be. You touched on it earlier, my dear.
Not my dear.
My dear.
Okay.
It has to be tailored to them, because the worst thing you can do,
my God,
is give someone a gift that means nothing to them. It's just something you bought.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference between buying something for someone and giving someone a gift. There is a huge difference. And the difference behind that is the thought that you put into it and what it means to that person. So as a person who, their acts of service is gifts, and it has nothing to do with the physical thing itself. It has everything to do with the meaning behind it.
Right.
Did you take the time to learn me? Did you take the time to have conversations with me? Did you take the time to do something for me that's meant for me? And that means so much more.
It does. Now, one of the things about that it says, and I just need to read this because it just was like so good. It says, crafting unforgettable experience can communicate profound care and thoughtfulness. Taking note of the timing and the presentation of your gift. What in the world? Never listen. They basically saying, if you're gonna give a gift, make it a presentation.
Yeah.
Consider the timing. It's just because we're in the kitchen, baby. Here's a gift.
Right.
Nah. A person who loves gifts likes a presentation. I know a lot of gift giving people, and they love presentation. They'd be like, girl. So I was, and then and love that. And it only have to. It could be a journal. It could have been a book and a journal, because they love reading and they love writing.
Right.
But the way that the gift was presented, in the box that it was presented in, or how it was wrapped, and the presentation, the time that it was given in, and the setting that was given in, makes a difference for someone who is a person that their love language is gift giving. The entire, it's not only the gift, it's the entire thing that you do. The entire presentation of giving the gift is so important.
It's the experience behind it.
Exactly. Yeah. It's the experience behind it.
Should be an experience.
It should be an experience. Yeah, absolutely. Well, that one was a short one. I didn't have really a lot to say, but it also states that that is long. It's long lasting. It's a long lasting memory.
Right.
I remember the time when you gave me. I remember the time when you. Girl, when he gave me this gift, and like long lasting memories, right? So it's not just the gift, it's the memory and the experience that they got. So they attach those together with the gift. That's something phenomenal to do for a person who love language is gift giving. Yeah. I feel great. How you feel?
I feel great about it.
You feel good?
Yeah, I think that's a good place to stop.
Yes.
I think we've exhausted.
We will not be doing love language. We've done all you've asked us to do, guys. We've done it all.
I think we've exhausted every avenue of love language.
Yes, we're done.
What's your final thought, babe?
I love the fact that out of all the 5 love language,
It's okay.
Let me slow down.
Slow down, Pootie.
Slow down, Pootie. Sorry, grandbaby. That all the 5 I still can't say love.
All the 5 love languages.
Thank you, baby.
You're welcome,
all the 5 love languages state 2 things. The first thing is that I support you, and the second thing is that I value you.
Right.
Out of all of those 5, those have been on the forefront of each and every one of them. I support you and that I value you. And if we can do that, we can get through anything. And so that's my final thought on that.
All right. My final thought is going to be simply pay attention.
Oh my goodness.
No, simply pay attention.
Okay.
That's all. Because to me, that's the common theme throughout all 5 love languages. To be able to accomplish them in a manner that is meaningful and effective, you have to pay attention.
Yes, Lord.
It can't be a situation where that you're giving your spouse half your attention or a portion of your attention or a small percentage of your attention. That's not going to work. And I understand that life, there is a life. I get that.
Yes.
And there are jobs and there's kids and there's situations and there's family members that we have to deal with, and I get all that. But within that, within dealing with all the situations, there still has to be a partnership with your spouse that they don't get lost in everything that's going on.
Yes.
That they don't get lost in you trying to climb the corporate ladder or you dealing with professional things, or they don't get lost in you trying to raise the kids and you trying to nurture and care, or they don't get lost in trying to build this home and this life together, or they don't get lost in dealing with parents that are ill and that are seasoned, because there are things in life that has to have our attention. I get that. No one lives in a perfect world. No one lives in a perfect scenario where it never rains and the sun is always shining and there's no issues and there's no problems, there's no sadness, there's no pain.
Right.
No one lives in that. But within that, you have to be able to navigate and not lose your partner within that. Because within that, your partner still needs care. Your partner still needs love. Your relationship still needs nourishing, because when all those things are said and done, because all that's season, your professional life is a season, your kids growing up is a season, your parents all that is a season.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when those seasons are over, you're still going to have that relationship. Now, what that relationship looks like,
it's up to you.
After those seasons are done, is up to you.
It's up to you.
Because you can have a beautiful, nourished, healthy relationship that comes out of it, or you can have a relationship that's dying on the vine because it was not given the proper nourishment. It was not given the proper sunlight. It was not given the proper care.
Right.
As those other seasons were going on. So once again, for me, the common theme that goes through all love languages is simply pay attention.
Pay attention. And I want to just do this. Lord, I pray that all the family members that are listening to this podcast today, I pray for them in the name of Jesus, that they will have communication, that they will feel supported, that they will feel loved, that they will feel heard and seen, Father God, and that you will bring them closer together. It is important. In this season right now, it is so important to feel supported and loved. So I pray that those things have came across as on this podcast today, that those things that are needed, that whoever hears it will hear it and move forward and begin to put those things into action for their loved ones, for their significant other, for their spouses, so that from season to season and year to year, they will have this information in their tool belt to continue to make their marriage even better. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Now that's the way to end.
All right.
Family, thank you for listening.
Thank you, guys.
However you're listening, whether it's iTunes, whether it's Podbean, whether it's Spotify, whether it's Amazon Music, whether it's iHeartRadio, on our own personal website at www.thecrenshawcorner.com, whether it's on YouTube. We thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Family, we consider ourselves an interactive podcast, which means we can be found on the socials. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on TikTok. Once again, we're on YouTube. And, of course, you can email us at any time at thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. Once again, thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. And as always, family, welcome to our journey.
We love you guys. Bye.